This is the TAF Hub, a show brought to you by TAF Africa Global to educate you on real estate matters, to mentor you and inspire you.
After 48 years of working and also traveling all over the world, I am ready to share my experience with you, especially those young ones who follow me for inspiration.
This is the TAF Hub, a show brought to you by TAF Africa Global to educate you on real estate matters, to mentor you and inspire you.
After 48 years of working and also traveling all over the world, I am ready to share my experience with you, especially those young ones who follow me for inspiration.
Welcome back to our bi-monthly sessions. This is our 9th and 10th. We're almost there. Probably next month we would wrap up this session and be certified. Today it's a very proud moment for me because 2 years back I was unable to stand in public and say anything. But I was trained by one of Gambia's finest. I would say the only public speaking trainer we have, Mr. Pastor Forbes, who is in our midst today. We also have a veteran journalist, one of Gambia's finest also, CEO of Mediamatic, Paradise TV and Paradise Radio, Mr. Haruna Drame. Mr. Youthman does not need any introduction, but we have Mr. Youthman as well.
I don't think I have much to say anymore since Abis did the introduction, but I'm glad that at least she appreciated me that I paid for it. Otherwise, probably you would have lost your job. So my role here is to make an introduction. First, to appreciate my two good friends, brothers. There's so many things that we have in common. So I don't know why they even came all in blue today. I should have matched. He copied you. Pastor Forbes, we've come a very long way. You know, he's my young brother. We all went to primary school together in Methodist Prep. I mean, I left primary school in 1969. Where were you? So, but he was my junior then, and also my sister also was very close to her sister. They were in the same class. Apart from that, I'm the only Muslim member of his congregation. He gets me to say, you have to pay tithes. He comes for the tithes from me. Yes. But that's what Gambia is about. And welcome, Pastor, and I'm sure you need no introduction, because I'm sure every one of you do know Pastor. Who doesn't know Pastor Forbes?
Good afternoon to you all. Okay, let me try again. Good afternoon to you all. Good. First thing is to just say thank you to Mr. Njie, to TAF. He exemplifies what we all want to see around the world. I remember a couple of years ago, we actually flew from Banjul together, and our connection flights to Port Harcourt were two different airlines. He had gone to change in a hotel, I had gone to change in another hotel, and then he called me and said, looks like my flight has been canceled. So he has gone ahead to buy my ticket, another ticket to Port Harcourt. And he has since refused to receive my refund, which I still have, by the way. But, so I was going to preach in Port Harcourt. He even wondered whether there were people picking me up, and I said yes. Fast forward, he sent his driver to come and pick me from where I was staying, and we visited Reef TAF I couldn't believe that a Gambian had done that. And as if that was not enough, while we were chatting, he had 2 Nigerian mobile policemen armed, guarding us while we were walking. I have heard about guard of honor, but I have not seen it that way before. It was awesome, and I looked at him and I thought, 2 Gambians being guarded with guns, and every resident was so happy to see him. It was a phenomenal thing, and now he's replicated something like that here, maybe not as big. And I'm beginning to think we are probably going to be very jealous of what he'll do in Sierra Leone, knowing him. They're just going to do something great there. And thank you, sir, for what you do, for what you exemplify for us. Mr. Njie has no airs. If you know him, he's as simple. There are people in his cadre around Africa that you have to walk through 14 layers of security and protocol and PAs and APs to see, but you can see him anytime. And thank you so much for that. And this is really futuristic and generational if you take it the way he has it in his heart. Before I speak also, I want to say thank you. A lot of people don't know Haruna. Haruna and I go a long, long way back. But when COVID struck and social distancing had to happen, I was fighting against it because I don't like things that stop me. If you know me, we don't close church. I don't know whether you close mosque, but we don't close church. So I was fighting, and we would close our main gates, put the AC on, and warn the watchman, anybody comes here, arrest them. And then Haruna called me and said, Pastor, just go virtual. And he talked me into spending over $120,000, a camera, tripod, everything, and we started. And today, 4 years later, we are so glad that we took the bull by the horn, doing online, on-site, everything. And so maybe it's a good place to say thank you to him, if you help me. Thank you, Haruna. Amen. And of course, Abis, we have a joke which I will preserve, but when they did the exam, she was one of the top, and she just communicates so freely. I'm surprised that she says that she couldn't talk, but she talks. And I also have a budding public speaker seated somewhere at the back there. She's incognito, but one day you'll hear about her in public speaking and in fashion, and you'll thank me that I told you. I won't tell you her name, but she's here. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. All right, so let's deal with commitment. The purpose of my lecture is to give you all a wholesome and holistic life so that we become well-grounded and groomed to respond right to the challenges of your time. You know, I will be 59 in a few months' time. People doubt it, but my daughter is 30, and our church is 35 years, and I've been on television for 27 years. I couldn't have done that when I was 4, 5, 6. So I'm almost a year and a few months away from 60. And in my days, everything was normal. A man was a man, a woman was a woman. In your days, it's becoming difficult. In my days, if a girl was coming to your house and you were a boy, your parents would throw fire. Now, if a girl is coming and you are a girl, your parents would throw fire because they are not sure now. And a man went for medical treatment, and when they checked him, he had a prostate problem. And the doctor said to him, sir, he said, no, I'm a woman. So he said to her, madam, you have prostate cancer. So this is your world, and you'll have to respond right to the challenges of your world and also add value to yourselves and leave a good and a proud legacy like what we all enjoy from TAF, but a legacy without regrets. And that's possible. There is no 2 stories about TAF. There is no soft sell story anywhere, and you can be that. But you can only be that with one of the many things that are being taught you, including what I'm going to talk about today, commitment. What is commitment? Commitment is a pledge. It's an agreement. It's an obligation. It's an undertaking. Agreement to do something in the future, like you commit to improve the conditions of service for employees, or the conditions in the prisons. It's also something that you have pledged, like how some nations say they are pledging troops to go to Niger. It's a commitment. I'm not too sure whether they'll follow up though. Commitment is the state of an instant of being obligated or emotionally impelled by something. You are driven. So it's an act of agreeing or pledging to a charge or a trust. Now, why is commitment so important? Commitment is crucial to everything you do, everything we do. Because, ladies and gentlemen, events, situations, challenges, people, circumstances will test your commitment. If you really believe in what you say you are committed to. Because what is primary and obligatory to you is optional to everybody else. Don't make that mistake. A couple of years ago, a young pastor came to my office with his wife and he was complaining that the people come to church late. So I asked him, do you go to church late? He said, no. Does your wife go to church late? He said, no. I said, you're fine. He said, but the people. I said, no. You said God called you. God did not call the people. You called the people. For you, it is primary and obligatory. For them, it's optional. So commitment, if you say you are committed to something, then it is obligatory to you. And remember, it is optional to everybody else. And they are not bound to agree. They are not bound to support. They are not bound to belong to. They are not bound to encourage, praise, or endorse what you do. But your commitment can change their position. If you stay your course. If you stay your course. You know, a lot of people know me, they like me, but believe me, when I came from university in 1988, last century, and I came and I started a church. For those of you who are Gambian, my family tradition was a tradition called Methodist. And here was this Gambian boy from university, and he came and started something different. And believe me, a lot of people said, give him 6 months. In 71 days, we are going to be celebrating 35 years. A lot of the people that gave me 6 months are dead and gone. But I stayed my course. Like a driver driving a bus from here to Brikama. Sometimes you take off from Gambia High School and you see a woman holding a child, pregnant, and has one at the back and has some African load on her head, and she's running, driver, 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 driver. And because it's a bus, it has air brakes, you pump and pump and pump and pump, and the bus stops. And the emotions with which she stops you, you think she's going to Brikama. She comes down at mile 2. Will you be angry? No. Your commitment is to drive this bus to your destination. In life, people join you, people leave, people come, people give you deadlines, people prophesy over you, people second guess you, they misrepresent you. It does not matter as long as you are committed to your cause. And when you are committed to your cause, people get to know. Interestingly, there's a family that, I don't know really what happened. The family was so much against me, and one day we woke up and one of their children became a pastor in our church. What do you say about that? It's commitment. Because within commitment, there is something else that I'm sure other lecturers will give. If you are not committed to what you do, why should somebody else be committed to it? As the Ghanaians say, you don't cry in a funeral more than the bereaved. It's not your funeral. So let the bereaved, for whom it is a commitment, cry. Or the Nigerians put it better, you don't take paracetamol for somebody else's headache. It is their headache. So as you sit here, you are being trained as fellows, you are going to be starting something like I did 35 years ago, like Arona did, like Uncle TAF did many years ago. And each one of us has our stories. Misrepresentations, hatred. In my home, people used to call our phone and bang the phone. It didn't matter. Because when you are committed, there is something also called focus. Your primary purpose is that you are sold out and you are going all the way. A couple of years ago, somebody told me, my father doesn't like you. I said, really? I thought I was a likable guy. He said, no, he doesn't like you. He just feels that when you came back from university, you should have gone the way of your father. He said, even though I don't like him, one thing I can say about him, he's committed and consistent. You know what that tells me? People will watch you. Are you not the one that came to TAFLA? Are you not the one that Fadi Hoshami spoke to? Are you not the one that had another one? If are you not in that class, you must be committed. Commitment spells conviction, ladies and gentlemen, and it sits on passion, and it manifests consistency, persistence, and predictability. What we see Uncle TAF doing and replicating with ease is predictable because the building blocks, the toolbox, the roadmap has been well done over time. Mr. Drame can open a radio station in Iceland. He can open it in Mars. He's not going to try to open it. What I do, I'm not trying to do. With a sense of commitment, that's the same thing I believe Mr. Njie has in his heart for you, especially those of you who are Gambian like me, that our country will rise up and be what it should be. What are you going to pierce this world with? Because I personally believe that everybody has one thing that they will pierce the world with. For your information, yes, I am a degree holder. I studied biochemistry. I also am a musician. I play the piano, I play the drums, I play the guitar, I play the trombone. I'm a public speaker. I fix satellite dishes. I'm a pastor, husband, father, son, brother. I cannot hit the world with all of them together. But there is one. There are a lot of people who don't even know I have a degree. Because in my culture, the degree was to give to your parents. As they will say, pull me and shame. Go get that paper. So I gave them the paper and focused on what God wanted me to do. Commitment. What are you going to change your world with? Does it consume your passion? Does it consume your thoughts, your attention, your resources? I always say to women, anytime a woman tells me, Pastor, can you help me with school fees? I ask them, have you ever calculated the cost of what you're wearing? The Brazilian wig, the 7 pairs of shoes, the $108,000 iPhone 14 Pro Max. When you put all that together, I've not even talked about jewelry. Do you know how much you're worth? But a lot of people spend more on their feet than on their brain. How committed are you? How committed are you? Somebody recently asked me just 2 days ago that we need help with 22,000. I said, I can give you, but bring the other half. Hey, but show me your commitment. If you show me your commitment, I will come alongside you. How committed are you? Are you committed? Does it take your time? Does it take your talent? Does it keep you awake all night, thinking of how to improve your life? Because, ladies and gentlemen, commitment is visible, it's observable, it's palpable, you can feel it. Commitment is investment. It's an all or nothing principle. It's a do or die. You're either committed or you're not. It's not eye service, political party service. There's a frenzy all over the world, especially in Africa before elections. People look hyper committed until the election results are announced. 1 month later, they can't even find the t-shirt they were wearing. There's no commitment. Commitment is not looking for likes on social media. It's not looking for affirmation and votes. Who's clapping for you? Your motivation should be your goal, your vision, your drive, your purpose. You are so razor sharp and laser focused that nothing stops you. That is commitment, Gambians. If no one joins you, you will go full throttle all alone. That is commitment. Because the truth is, if you're looking for people, they'll disappoint you. I hope you know that. Because as I said earlier on, what is obligatory to you is very optional to people. Sometimes you have a program. He's telling you like that he's going to Soma. He's not going to come. Must you be bitter? No. Must you be angry? No. It is not his core primary obligation. It is optional. But for you, it is optional. So there are people who should be here that maybe are not here. There are people who will come maybe when we have ended. The commitment is not there. And in these 12 subjects that you have been tutored in, you cannot become like TAF and others without commitment. Because people can see commitment. We can smell commitment. We can feel it. We can tell. There are people who tell you, I can do it, I can do it. And they'll call, Yabis is the class holding, the Fahala hymn. It is going to rain. You're not committed. If you are committed, rain or shine. Because at the end of the day, if you were supposed to pick your US visa from the embassy and it was raining, will you go or not? Good, you answered the question. You will go. Commitment bears fruits. It's predictable. What Ya Abis is to us and the praise that we celebrate with TAF and his team and the people from Sierra Leone is commitment. Because somebody can always say, my grandfather died, my dog did not bark, Nawek went off. Nawek goes off in every house. If you are committed, things will follow you. If you are committed, people will notice you and people will look for you. When you are committed, there is no room in your heart for jealousy. There is no room for anyan. No amount of juju or chat can replace commitment because it won't last. No amount of begging and asking for help will replace commitment. If everybody seated here adds this to what you have already heard and adds it to what Mr. Drame will tell you and everything you hear, you'll be running and flying high. You'll be super committed. Nobody will wake you up. Nobody will drag you. You will walk. You will drag your feet. How committed are you? Committed people never have an entitlement mentality. It's not my uncle, my father, my mother. It's not Uncle TAF. It's not Mr. Drame. And let me ask you this question. If you owned a business that is $20 million strong, how would you like to employ uncommitted people? Don't you think that business would fail before your eyes? You want committed people, driven people, people who have a passion to do what they're going to do. Commitment is a 24/7 thing. Commitment is a 365-day thing. And it's joyful. Because at the very least, you found your niche market in life. You found that place you can pierce through the wall and do it happily. I do mine happily. Uncle TAF does his happily. Mr. Drama is one of the selfless people I know. He'll help you set up a station. Some of you don't know, we have an internet radio station in our church. He pushed and came one Saturday and set it up. So we are waiting for when the embargo will be lifted. So I can boast that Abiding Word has an internet radio station. This man, selfless. Amut Anyan, Uncle TAF is the same. And you must be the same, because these are the people training you. Regardless what you Pastor Amulo Banyu Nilamen. You know, Uncle TAF, I tell people this is the only country where when you are rich, you must hide it. When you are good, you must hide it. How are you? We are suffering and struggling, We are managing. Only in this country. Must we apologize because we are good? No way. Must we apologize because our children are good? No way. Must you apologize for your success? No way. Can you replicate your success anywhere? Yes. You die and come back, you replicate it again. You die and come back, replicate it again. Because the roadmap, the toolkit, the building blocks are already in you. And why you must never be afraid is that you paid a price for it. People are watching football today. We are all here. And when you turn out great, they wonder, first of all, Pastor, your boys are sitting here, then we can get attire. No. Be committed. That's why you are here. How many of you will train this number of people and pay for them and not ask for anything? Be committed. Be committed. Be driven. Be committed. Forget about everybody else. Just be committed. Take your eyes off people. He said he will come. My uncle is sending me t-shirt. He didn't send the t-shirt. The Western Union he didn't come. Be committed. When you are committed, people will look for you. People will follow you. When they see 24/7, 365 commitment in you, they will look for you. You won't even have to drop your CV. They will headhunt you. People will pick you. They will tanner you from the crowd. Pick you. And you will not disappoint. Let me end by telling you a story, and I hope you can catch the joke, because it's a joke. It's a joke about the chicken and the pig. So the chicken and the pig were observing a family having breakfast. And they were having bacon and eggs. And the chicken turned to the pig and said, you know what I like about my fellow chickens? They have participation and involvement in helping people. Look at eggs there. And the pig looked at the chicken and said, you do participation and involvement. For there to be bacon on that table, we do commitment. Because the pig had to die for the bacon to be there. Commitment is deeper than involvement. You can be involved, you can participate, but please, whatever you do, be committed. Be very committed. Be fully and totally sold out. Committed to your cause, committed to your vision, committed to your dream, committed to your enterprise, committed to your purpose, because only you can stop you from becoming and doing and getting. I thank you all, and God bless you.
Thank you for watching the TAF Hub. Until we come your way on our next episode, subscribe, like, and share.